Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, people all over the world, welcome to another episode of TylerBrianHour, a.k.a. TBH, a.k.a. TBR. I'm your co-host, B-Bird, a.k.a. Brian, a.k.a. Prince, a.k.a. Prince with G. I'm going to pass to my boy, my Brethren, Men's and MTTL. You want to say something to the people?
What up, though? People, is your co-host, Tyler Libra, a.k.a. TTL, a.k.a. Libra Hendricks in the building. We are gathered here today on February 21st, 2023. We are starting to see more light in the day as far as getting past this winter. And it's been a hellacious winter, so to speak, but we're not out of the woods yet because I think it's supposed to rain, freezing rain, later on tonight, like around like midnight or so, or like in the morning, wee hours in the morning. But happy Tuesday to all, happy TBH Tuesday to all. And actually I want to say something as far as like just some Black History Month church announcements today. February 21st, 1965, the honorable great Malcolm X was assassinated today. So just want to bring that out there, as far as Black history goes. They only give us 28 days, so just wanted to throw that out there for the people.
29 if we lucky. Since we talk about church announcements, shout out to the good brother Grim, my young bull, my young brother. His birthday is the 26th. Got to get an episode of TylerBrianHour where I am not dying of bronchitis. And
I might have the same shit too.
An actual episode. He also goes by Stacks. He has a song out called First Place, and I think he's actually dropping another song on his birthday, which is the 26th. So shout out to my young brother. Happy birthday when you hear this. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm chilling. Tapped in with y'all last night. You and the boy Caleb. It was good seeing y'all niggas. Good chopping it up and stuff like that. So, I'm pretty moderate, so to speak. I mean, it ain't shit but Tuesday. So we still got like 3 more days to go, right? Wait, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, we still got 3 more days to go. So I'm just trying to hold on as best way I possibly can. What about you, though?
Well, we got to get into your weekend, brother.
I told you my weekend last night.
Yeah, but on the podcast.
It was all right. It was pretty moderate. What about you, though?
Well, first of all, my bad. For some reason, so long story less long, I have a PC. I don't have a MacBook. I have a MacBook technically, but not a MacBook that I can upload the episode. And for some reason, it kept giving me a network error on my Google Drive. So that's how I transfer the video from my phone, because we record the podcast on my phone, to my PC so I can upload it to YouTube and do all that jazz. For some reason I was getting a network error. So I open it up, the cookies, I compressed the file, I changed the file from an MOV to MP4. So if you have any idea how Google Drive works and why there was a network error, please let me know, because if this happens with this video, but I'm gonna knock on wood, obviously, but if this happens with this video, I'm thinking what I'm gonna try to do is, I haven't done it in a while, but I'm gonna try to re-download Premiere Pro on my MacBook and at least see if I could add the video to Premiere Pro. And by doing so, I'm hoping that I could just sign on to Premiere Pro on my PC and then just take it from there. Because if that doesn't work, I really don't know what to do. And I ain't know niggas, like, I knew niggas fuck with us, because obviously y'all be fucking with the TikTok shorts and all that stuff. But I ain't know niggas like seeing our face. Because I guess, like, you know what I'm saying, we are charismatic people, so we like, we do a good job of selling the actual emotions. Like, it's one thing to hear the emotion, but then when you can put a face behind it and see our reactions and like laugh and do all this goofy shit that we do. Niggas was pressed. Niggas was pressing me. Like, niggas went from the TBH comments to my DMs because they figured out, because sometimes I comment with my actual YouTube channel, and they was like, yo, what the fuck your nigga faces at, man? Fuck is this? I'm like, yo, chill. You know, there was a time where that was all y'all got. Like, y'all didn't have video. But I mean, I love it. I mean, y'all still got to subscribe though. Y'all be subscribing to the podcast. Like, y'all be, I think today's short had like over 400 views, but not 400 subscribers. So go ahead and follow the YouTube channel. Go ahead and follow the TikTok if y'all see it. Hopefully y'all support it so I can put more out or hire somebody and use some of this money to get the people to make it so I can really pump out that content. So that was the issue. And mind you, that happened. I want to say I wanted to upload the podcast episode right after we did it. And I went all the way until Sunday messing with that, trying different things out, Googling stuff for YouTube search. I think my whole fucking YouTube algorithm is nothing but Google Drive videos because I was trying to figure it out. So that was stressful. I already said last week about the car thing, so that was a stressful 2 days as well. Had some incidents with some girls, nothing crazy, but it was just a bad week. It was probably the worst week that I've had all 2023. But I mean, as far as bad weeks go, if that is the worst week,
It's crazy because this is not even 90 days in.
yeah. But I'm saying, like, if that is my worst week that I have, then I should be okay. Give me anxiety with that, but I should be okay. So that was pretty much, I guess, my week. My weekend, I didn't do anything too crazy. Monday was cool for the most part. Shit, trying to remember. Today, I had to go into work late today just because I had someone come over my house, so I was the only one at home, so I had to make sure that the house didn't get raided, or they did what they were supposed to do and got in and got it out. But other than that, yeah. And then I got my church announcements out the way. Kind of just been chilling. I ain't gonna lie. This podcast, we got some topics, and I think we could like stretch these topics. But this, I don't want us to get canceled. But this might be one of the ones we get canceled because it's like a lot of shit. I feel like a lot of shit be face value. Like people want to cause an uproar and people want to be mad, but the way I look at shit, kind of like I don't put too much weight on it. I'm never too high about it. I'm never too low about it. Obviously, maybe because a lot of the things we talk about obviously are celebrities and like sports athletes and stuff like that. But maybe if I put more weight into it, then obviously I could care more and have a certain feeling if it had to do with like people I care about. But I guess since I'm like kind of neutral about these people, I'm not surprised. So I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting episode with these topics that we got. Also, fuck Karl Malone. So like I had to say that. If you know, you know. Nigga's weird. Nigga was at the All-Star game, and yeah. Before we get into the All-Star game, I want to know who in this world, Tyler, who do you love and like genuinely love, like they one of them for you? Like if these people are not in this thing called life would be completely different for you. And then tell me why you love these people.
Honestly, does it have to be my mom, or does it have to be any like type of relatives? Could it be outside relatives? What's the stipulation?
See, someone else asked me that too. I mean, I count relatives. Like when I was talking about it, I counted relatives. Just because it's like we're talking about love. Like I feel like if they're up there for that reason, it's just more of the reason, I guess.
I'm definitely going to have to say my mama, because one of the outstanding factors about her is that no matter what situation goes on, whether it be in my life, whether it be in Carl's life, whether it be in any of my other siblings' life, whether it be in her life, for herself, she just keeps it going. And I don't know, I never really looked at that drive that she had in her until Pops passed. Because obviously that was pretty much a detriment to, my family, obviously. But she made some call, like when that day happened, she went about it as is. She made the calls she needed to make, and she just made sure that I didn't, that I was safe still, because like I spent that whole day out the house. I really didn't even go back to it. I think when you came, that was like the first time I was in the house for like an hour.
Mm.
So like, she made, the arrangements that she did, and she just kept rolling through it. And like she never really talked about it with me or with anybody else. So that's the aspect that I'm really proud of, and I'm damn glad that she got, because without that, and just her being the mom that she is and being there for her kids, obviously being there for me, as far as what I've told her and stuff like that, as far as my drinking habits, pill habits from past, she just said, you really don't need to live that life. That was a life that you wanted to live.
Mm.
And when she told me that, it kind of made me think about what's my destiny moving forward, has still a young man, a young black male in this world that pretty much don't have much to lose but everything to gain. So that's always still in my mindset moving forward, how I could better myself, not only to be proud of me, but also be proud, also for me to have her proud. And yeah, that's definitely something that I think about waking up every single day of my life, is something that where how can I, as a son, as just a human being, how can I give back to my moms for, all the shit that I put her through throughout these years. And there's really no stamp time on, when I have to do it, but I just know I gotta do it. And that's really the only thing that's keeping me going. Like, as far as her peace, her words, and her mentality, that's really the only thing that that's been keeping me going. Otherwise, I would have been off myself.
Mm.
And that's straight up, like, from the heart, like, mentally, physically, spiritually, I would have been gone already. So, which is crazy to think, because I'm still here.
Well, I also don't think she would want that for you. Like, I'm not even gonna speak that into existence, but I don't think, like, knowing your mother and who she is, I don't think she would want that as a result of unfortunate circumstances. I think she would want, kind of how you said, I think she would want what she is, like, for you to be like, all right, now I gotta pick up my bootstraps and figure it out, and then also carry, like, this last name that I got. Obviously, you got your pop's last name, but carry the last name of her and all the things she stood for and the values in life and how she took care of you. I think she would want you to basically take the baton and run with it. And it's such a weird, and I'm going to let you finish with your list, but something that I thought of right when you said it is because, like, my dad did the same thing. Like, as soon as, like, my grandpa passed, my dad was like, all right, well, we got to do the, he obviously helped carry the body out and did all this stuff, and he stayed in the house. But it's such a weird skill to have. Like, I really feel like, and I mean, I can only speak for what I know, but, like, I really feel like black people, for some reason, are always good at handling traumatic shit and knowing that we have to keep it pushing for our family. Like, there has to be a world where we could get to the point where, like you want to be sad, you want to be mournful, you want to, like you respect the person that's like, all right, now I got to pick it up and take care of the family and step up. But at the same time, it's like, nigga, like, we are not robots. like it's such a commendable skill, but it's such a weird skill to have. It's really the weirdest skill I think anyone can have in this world, is just the ability to move on after some traumatic shit happens. It's a one that everybody needs, and one that's going to have, especially since, everybody's going to die at some point in time. But it's just like, fuck, every time I hear somebody say that, and then I hear somebody go, oh, you're so strong. It's like, sometimes niggas want to be weak. Like, but I mean, I get it. Like, a lot of people are in situations to where you don't have no choice. But that to me, every time I hear that, I always, like, play that, like, back and forth in my mind. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, that's such a weird skill to have, but we have to have it.
I think for me, it wasn't even really about, because I obviously racked my brain thinking about this a lot. Is like, it wasn't even about me being, either weak or strong. I think it was just more about me knowing the situations, the situations that I had, and the situations that, you know, my father had, and what he put himself through. It was almost like a foreseeable future. For me, it was like an inevitable thing. So, like, when I see shit in that aspect and I know what's coming, then I guess shit gets a little bit easier to really deal with, at least in my world. Like, if I know that you've been, like, if I know, like, my uncle's sitting right now in the hospital in the ICU right now for like 2 weeks straight, right across the street from here.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I know the inevitable. You know, he hasn't had really a healthy life. He's pretty much like my pops, but on my mom's side. So, like, it's one of those things where, like, everybody kind of prepares for what's going to happen. And I think that's one thing about my mom. She always prepares for what's going to happen, not as far as being proactive other than reactive. And when you're proactive, you brace yourself a lot.
But I also feel like that hinders yourself a lot too. Because I do remember you saying that shit in like relationships, like, because you would always kind of like, I guess not hinder them on purpose, but you always felt like that was the inevitable.
Self-destruct, yeah.
Where it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
It really just depends. Who else do you love?
I'd say one. It'd probably have to be you.
You gotta say one. That's fun.
I have to say one, really, honestly, bro. And it's not even the longevity. It's when I think about you and us, it has nothing to do with longevity. I think it's just
shit.
It really don't. The fact that we've known each other damn near for like 24 years, that has nothing to do with how I feel about this nigga. I think most of it is because I think we just tap in so well with each other, and we're kind of opposites, and not that cliche shit like opposites attract, because, you know, as far as my thinking and as far as your thinking, it can't really get no more different than us two. So I think that's why I pretty much like I always make it my means to kind of like push this nigga's buttons a little bit. You know, just to kind of see,
Definitely do.
Just kind of see what his thinking is, what his reaction is to shit. Because I want it to be mine, but at the same time, I know he don't work like that, and that's always what keeps me going with this nigga, is like kind of trying to, you know, it's almost like a yin and a yang reaction. You know, he's more. I know B.R. is gonna always be more proactive. I know I'm always be more reactive to shit. So it's worked for as long as it has, and you know, I'm not really mad at it. As friendship goes, it definitely works, because, you know, I could literally leave this nigga alone for 2 weeks straight, and then he'll hit me up for a podcast or whatever. This nigga cannot be anywhere near me for like 2 weeks straight, whether it be downtown, whether it be on vacation or whatever, and like he'll still hit me, because I know he's doing him, and I'm gonna do me regardless. So with that, you know, and everybody keeps trying to, like, there was a time when niggas would love to just see us together for whatever reason. They'd be like, yo, where's Brian at? Or where's Tyler at? Where both y'all niggas at? And it's like, and it's like, I really want to say, yo, I don't fuck with that nigga like that, because he don't really want to come out here and fuck with y'all. So, and that, and really, honestly, that's what I want to tell him. But honestly, the truth of the matter is like, that nigga don't fuck with being out here like that. I'm just keeping the plan simple. He don't like this shit, and, you know, niggas don't respect that, I guess, or had a hard time trying to figure that out. I was like, there's really nothing to figure out. If that nigga wants to be at home and live his life and play games and work on his craft, nigga, then let that be him. What you talking about? Like, why? I don't even see why that's even a problem.
There's still a problem.
I honestly don't see why that's even a problem.
I think
And like y'all niggas are still talking to me, and y'all love me, y'all respect me, and I'm still here giving y'all's good graces and being around y'all, and I'm not even drinking. Well, this speaking in a new light, past life. Like I'm still here, I'm still with y'all, I'm still cool with y'all, I'm still having a good time. So really, I really don't even have to be out here. So y'all lucky y'all really getting me. So really it could be raps for for y'all not seeing us at all. Cause now that I'm getting older and now I'm starting to see more of what B Her was preaching over these years, is that like it's one of those things where like I'm trying to get my shit going as far as, my peace haven. And my peace of haven is being sober as long as I possibly can and keeping my ass out of trouble and staying alive, bro. That's my whole thing, man. Staying alive, and yeah, I'm wholehearted on that nowadays. I had something, I really just had something. I forgot that bitch.
It might come back to you. Like just to go back to basically like the love I guess we have for each other, because you're definitely on my list too. It never was about anything. Like, in the weird aspect, like, for every aspect of, like, we are completely different and opposite. I think literally every other thing of, like, we're opposites, everything else we like exactly the same. So that's, like, it's either we're exactly the same on something or we're exactly the opposite on something. It's kind of a weird dynamic. But I never had a thought with Tyler, like, I like to think he had thought the same, like, because I was the first one to get a car, I was the first one to get a license, and then, like, basically Tyler was like, yo, can you pick me up for school? I was like, all right. Like, took him to school, dropped him off, we went somewhere, I went somewhere. If Tyler had bread, he paid, I just drove. Like, it was just certain things like that to where we never really batted an eye on anything. And then on top of that, like, out of all my friends, like, we'd bicker and, like, get mad at each other, but even then we would only be mad at each other for a day. Like, I don't even remember our like biggest fight. Like, I don't think we even fought on everything. Even the craziest shit of where, like, if I was shiesty, I wouldn't bring it to you, but yet I brought it to you. And then even when you would tell me certain things of like you don't care or vice versa, of like I don't care, like we still kind of didn't do that off of principle, because it was like I fuck with this nigga way too much to do something bogus to him. And I don't think I've had that dynamic with anyone, at least as long as it's been of that dynamic. Like I ain't gonna lie, he do be pushing my buttons. But it really be more so, the only reason why I guess it'll bother me is because it's just like, not to play with me like that. Like, you my mans. Like, how the fuck my mans gonna treat me like I ain't shit? Now these niggas looking at me like I can treat me like I ain't shit. And that's why I had to spaz on niggas and act like, yo, chill out, bro. Because just because Tyler can get that shit off, you cannot get that off. I will fuck you up. But I don't want to be that guy, so I'm always just in the cut, just holding my tongue. But yeah, man. I mean, it's just like, and also I think it's just because I never had the physical embodiment of a brother. Like, I could easily see, like, if I had a brother and it was like Tyler, I'm cool with that. I mean, like, that's perfectly fine with me. I think I'm almost over getting what a brother could be like. And Tyler, like, we don't tap in as much as we used to, just off the strength of talking. Like, hell, I don't even remember the last time we really, outside of like a conversation leading to something we was gonna do, like, just had a straight up conversation. It almost feels unnatural to text or like call us, like one of us to call, because like, yeah, we have a podcast, we have a platform, we have like a technical business, or whatever you want to call it. But like, if we gotta really talk to each other about some shit, some life shit, we gonna talk. Like, I feel like that's a different dynamic that a lot of people don't have, because like they'll claim they're best friends or their brothers and sisters, but they'll talk through text and Snapchat, but then won't see each other. Like, me and Tyler will at least once a week go see each other. And I feel like, granted, I'm at the crib, so I can't say how often I would see my parents, but like, at least for my grandma, like, my 4 people is literally, my fifth was my grandpa, RIP, but like my four people is literally my mom, my dad, my grandma, and Tyler. Like, if those four were to go, I don't know what kind of Brian or B Heard you gonna get. Like, I'm being straight up. I ain't gonna say I'm off myself, but if I'm off the lick, I'm off the drink, the pills, whatever. I don't know what kind of Brian you gonna get, because I don't even know if I want to be honestly in that world with that dynamic. Like, I already lost one, and that shit hurt, so I can't imagine losing four. But and it's also like, I think people fail to realize that, like, in a way, you kind of have to accept people for who they are. Like, as much as I might have been an argumentative, like an arguer of a person, really I just be having conversations, but like, I've never won an argument. I don't think I've ever really changed Tyler's mind. I think he's maybe came around to some things, but even then that's something that Tyler had to do with himself and internal. But like, just like with my mom, my dad, my grandma, like, I never really got in an argument and changed someone's mind. So it's just really, I just be conversating. And I have to realize, I like kind of started to realize, like, at least a few years back, that like, Tyler's always going to be Tyler. Mom's always going to be mom. Dad's always going to be dad. Grandma's always going to be grandma. Like, is there things I would love to change about him? Yeah, sure. But can I? No. So it's like, either you going to accept it or you're not. And I guess the same way for them too, because like, I'm sure there's gripes that they have of me that they don't like, or that they're not the biggest fans of. But obviously this is someone who's going through life, trying to figure it out and be there for the people. Like, my biggest thing is like, I'm like, as long as like those four people speak highly of me and think highly of me, I'm cool. And I mean, obviously there's other people in that web, I guess, if there's the layers, like but I'm talking like the nucleus, like the core part is like those four people, and like why I have love for them. Like Tyler, I guess to go individually, Tyler is someone that I've always kind of like admired and loved, just because dude was always him. And like, people would always kind of say, like, even in high school, they'd be like, oh, Tyler weird. Like, he cool, but he weird at the same time. I'm like, nah, Tyler's just being Tyler. Like, I never looked at Tyler as in, like, I wanted this nigga to be something other than himself. Even, like, there was times where, like, me and Tyler didn't like the same shit. Like it was really like that fucking Power Rangers episode where they had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and niggas were shaking hands. It was like worlds colliding. It was kind of like that. Like, Tyler was a heavy skater, had all the skate CD or DVDs, and he would watch some bitches in rotation heavily, just watch them all day. And then I would basically be the football, sports, athlete type of dude. But we'd always kick it and be cool. Like, once we got cool, we stayed cool forever. And then, like, as high school grew on and Tyler just decided to tap into other worlds, he knew I fucked with football, so me and him instantly bonded over football when he got into that. But then he started fucking with baseball. That's another thing that I didn't really rock with, but that was something that Tyler was interested in. Tyler was always himself. That's why, like, when Tyler's talking shit, I don't mind it, but I always, like, if long as Tyler's being himself and he always stands on what he says, I would never slander this man on the podcast or like want to hinder his voice. That's why I've always respected Tyler. And then, like, not to mention, he's just always held it down. Like, nigga's always been cool, always been thorough, always treated me with like respect in some ways, some not. But that's also him just pushing my buttons, fucking with me. But that's why, like, I'd always admire Tyler. And it was like, my dad, kind of same thing, just to keep it somewhat brief. My dad basically with, like Tyler said, like with his mom, how he just always kind of been thorough and always held it down and always like pushed the family. And same with my mom, you know what I'm saying? My mom had cancer, like stage 4 cancer, and just thugged it out. And she said that she wanted to be there for me, which was kind of crazy. And they were always kind of both like believed in me, and like my mom and dad fuck with the podcast. And they're like, oh, you gonna do the podcast? All right, that's what's up. Go kill that shit. Go interview this person, interview that person, da-da-da. Like, do what you're supposed to do. Like, they don't necessarily look at things as hard. They look at it like more so I could do it, which is kind of ill. And like, even as old as I am, even as like how advanced I should be in life for how old I am, they still kind of believe in me and allow me to do the things of I don't think I would have found this creative process without my parents like believing in me or allowing me to do what it is that I'm gonna do. So that's why I fuck with them heavy, and I love them dearly. And then like my grandma, I think it's just the embodiment of my heart. Like if my heart was a physical person, it would be my grandma. Like I've never seen so much love and so much care from a person that it really like it generally feels like unconditional love. Because I mean, granted, where love is an action or a feeling, I think it's a action that turns into a feeling. Like like to me, my grandma could do no wrong just because I've always felt love. Even like she might have yelled at me once or twice in my life, but other than that, I've always felt love, always felt welcome, always felt like even like she's asking about the podcast like damn near every time I go over there, and like just to me that's just cool. Like stuff like it's one thing, you know what I'm saying? People make conversation, they ask about you know what I'm saying, work and like life and maybe relationships, but to ask about hobbies, because technically this is a hobby because we haven't got paid like we should yet, but yeah, just the body in my heart, my parents allowing the creativeness, and then Tyler just being a real one. And then I brought this up because it was supposed to be a test, and I guess I saw it on TikTok, it's like a relationship test. Because if you go on a date with someone and then you ask them who they love, I think what they describe about the person that they love is very telling. Because just for instance, like if you're on a date with someone and you ask her like, who does she love? She says like her mother. Well, she starts listing all of the things that her mother does for her. I think subconsciously that could seem like she's kind of shallow. And it's also a weird dynamic too, because it's always a mother, because like a mother and a father, they're supposed to do things for you. But then also I got into this argument with my grandma, well, not argument, but like a discussion with my grandma, is because like she would say that like, you know, she felt love in her house, but the way she would describe it is like her dad would obviously give him a roof, make sure they had clothes, was fed, this and third. But like the way my grandma loves is completely different. She's hugging you, telling you she loves you, asking about certain hobbies and having full-on conversations. So then that's why I got into the discussion is like, is that really love? Because it's like, if I do what I'm supposed to do for you, to me, I feel like that was like a lot of stuff. Like when I think of love, I'm kind of veering off the actual reason I brought up the question. But when I think of love, like if I do what I'm supposed to do, like that was already going to be done already, right? Like if I have a kid and say the kid's old enough to where they can eat normal like food, they don't have to eat baby food or like break it down into pieces. Like they're old enough, right? Me and my wife was already going to eat regardless if we had a kid or not. Me and my wife was already going to live in this house regardless if I had a kid or not. Maybe we moved up, maybe like moved on up or whatever. Like we was already going to have clothes and all these necessities that was going to have. To me, that's not love, because it was like you was already going to have that anyway. But what I do for my kid afterwards, making sure my kid gets the best stuff, then I think that's a difference. And I feel like a lot of people just get that misconstrued, or a lot of people just don't know, just because, you know, parents' go-to line is you have a roof over your head, you have this over here. And granted, don't get me wrong, YouTube land or whoever watches the video version, I don't want to sound like I'm being conceited, because it's like, well, you said that you guys are all going to do that. I know, I get it. Not everybody has the best living situation, but I don't want my kid to just feel like love was giving them the basic necessities. I want my kid to know that I love them, they are loved, and they can come to me about anything. Like I want them to feel as happy as, because a lot of people just don't be tapped in. Like they don't be tapped in. They'll look at me and Tyler having 24 years in, thinking, oh, y'all fuck with, like, y'all are best friends because y'all have 24 years in. No. We are best friends. We are best friends because I've seen this nigga cry. I've seen this nigga laugh. I've seen this nigga angry. I've seen this nigga sad, depressed, high, drunk. I've seen this nigga in every single light, but he was still the same nigga. He was still being thorough. He was still being himself. He was still trying to figure out shit. He was still there for me. There was a time where he wasn't there for me, but I had no choice but to respect it because he said he could not be there for me. I will say, it did hinder me a little bit and like my emotions and my expressions only because I had to respect it. There's not a lot of niggas in this world that would probably tell you cause one, most people are nosy. Like we just keeping it a bean. Like niggas like tea. Niggas love knowing what the fuck going on in people's business. That's why I say the healthiest thing you could do in the world is mind your business because you don't have to worry about that shit. But like, a lot of niggas, even if they going through shit and they fucked up and they really going through it, they nosy. They're going to want to know what's going on in your life if you feel comfortable to tell them what's going on in your life. But I respected Tyler just because he was fucked up to the point where he feel like he couldn't help me. And that's real. Because a lot of motherfuckers would offer advice, but nigga, their house is burning down. Like, this is what you do. They'd be like, yo, there'd be this niggas that'd be like, yo, this is what you need to do to keep a girl. Ain't kept one girl in their fucking lifetime. Got baby mama problems, got all this other shit trying to give you advice. And you're like, oh. So I respect the nigga, be like, no, I'm going through it. I cannot help you, Brian. And that's why, like, I fuck with Tyler, because Tyler gonna keep it on it. Like, there's not a conversation I feel like me and Tyler can't have. And I feel like a lot of people just need to realize that, like, it depends on the dynamic of your friendship. Like, it depends on what you need. Like, Tyler doesn't need me to go out in order to fuck with me. Tyler doesn't need me to kick it with him all a single time in order to fuck with me. Like, Tyler knows he could come to me, and Tyler knows that if, like, we ain't really kicked it in a while, and, like, I'm not a shallow person. Like, eventually I would come out and kick it with him, but it's just, like, he knows it's not a necessity for me to go out every single weekend because I know it's going to be there. Like, you know, downtown has not changed since I've been there, except some rules and regulations. Like, the shit always going to be the same. But Tyler knows he can make that call if he needs to. Tyler knows that we can kick it if we need to. Tyler knows what it is. And I think that's the beauty of our, like, dynamics in our relationships and friends. Like, a lot of people respect how I move, and it doesn't come off as fake because that's how I move. Where a lot of people can't compute, they'll go, Brian doesn't drink, Brian doesn't go out, so Brian don't fuck with me. No, that's not what it is. I'm just not big on going out and drinking because the shit don't change. And, like, a lot of people just gotta distinguish what love is and, like, why do you love this person? And what does this person do for you? And if this person, that's what I'm saying. Another thing, too, when I talk about love, and the reason why I have these 4 up there, is because Tyler, my grandma, my mom, my dad, well, maybe not my mom and my dad, they're kind of like outliers with asterisks because I do technically live in their house. So, like, they don't fuck with me and cut me off. Nigga, I'm going to be homeless. So they kind of outliers. They kind of outliers, but they still count. But if my mom and my dad do not, like, if I'm basically saying if those 4 do not do anything else for me in life, they still solidified because it done so much already. Lopez is in that list too. Caleb's in that list. There's obviously other people that I'm not mentioning, but I'm just saying the upper echelon of, like, those 4 that I know that, like, for my life, and I've always counted on, and, like, I always respect and love, is, like, those 4. Like, they cannot, to this day, they can stop fucking with me as far as doing anything for me, and they've still done it enough and then some for me, so I can never take that away from them. And something that I put on Facebook is that I'm trying to learn how to be unloyal, because loyalty will lead you to blind places and lead you to a fucked up situation because you were trying to stay because you want to be loyal. I need to learn to commit to something. As cliche as it sounds, pause is necessary. I am committed to Tyler because Tyler's always been there for me. So regardless, as long as this nigga don't lead me down the wrong path or no crazy shit, obviously I trust myself, but he'd never do that anyway. I'm committed to this nigga to the long haul. We locked in like this. That's twinning them. But same with my mom, same with my dad, same with my grandma, because they ain't gonna leave me no goofy shit because they know I have dreams and aspirations. But everybody else, I think I'm gonna stop, not necessarily stop being loyal to, but I'm either commit to it or not. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people didn't look at themselves. So basically, yeah. That's why I brought it up. I think it's a great question to maybe ask on a first date.
For sure.
Because I feel like, obviously you gave a great answer. And I'm sure there is maybe other people on your list too. My mom gave a fucked up answer. My mom an asshole. I ain't gonna lie. She,
It's almost like we need to switch moms wholeheartedly.
Right, like y'all would get along just fine, and me and your mom would get along. So I thought, like I said, I thought this was a great question. I was talking to some homegirls about it, and they kind of went the different route because they didn't want to say relatives, but I was like, okay, but like, nah, because I feel like it should be anyone that you love, period. Because like, I don't want to take away if you only love 3 people and 2 of them are relatives. I don't feel like that's fair. But so I asked my mom this question, right? And my mom has had some traumatic passings as far as me growing up. So I was accepting anyone, alive or dead. Because, like, if someone, like, made an impact, if someone forged you into being you, they should obviously count. So I'm thinking, like, my mom had her mom pass or her brother pass, and they were really close. I'm thinking, like, those 2 could possibly take 1 or 2. Obviously she's with my dad that created me, so clearly she has to like that nigga to some degree. So I'm thinking like, I'm about maybe 3, 4. I mean, there's some brothers too. Maybe I'm like 5, 6. I'm cool with that. Dead or alive, 5, 6. I'm cool with that. My mom names 3 things, 3 people. She go, her mom passed away. R.I.P. grandma, love you. I'm cool with that. I respect that. Nigga gonna say God then money. Fam, how am I gonna compete with God and money?
Broke as a motherfucker now.
But that's what I'm saying. How am I gonna compete with God and money?
So that's just out of the question right there. And God.
Yo, she said that. I said, nigga, what the fuck? Like, yo, mom, are you serious? Mom is so shallow.
The Lord is everything that we desire to be, everything that we hope to be, as far as good grace, as far as good positivity. Anything in His will is anything that He gives in His will is our power.
Right. But that
how the fuck you gonna?
That's what I said.
And the crazy thing is, she gave you 2 that you cannot even compete with
at all.
So you really just want to take that for what it is. I wouldn't even be mad at that. Matter of fact, I ain't even mad at that.
Yo, and then what's crazy too?
You'd be mad at that.
It's like
if I was their son.
Bro, what's crazy too is like she started going into it. She was like, because money is something that I always want, I always need. I feel like
always issue.
But I feel like I never have enough.
I respect that. Paul's always.
But I'm like, yo, that's the reason you love money, and the money's higher than me, your son.
Money more than you.
Okay. And then what was crazy too is I was talking to my dad about it, and actually we was all downstairs, so I was talking to both of them about it, and my mom, asshole, so she started laughing, like she started cracking up.
He'd be on like an episode of Power.
And then like that's funny. And then my dad. He started cracking up, but he just sits there and he gets quiet. I'm like, why? Like, what? And he's like, nigga, I could have told you that. He's like, I already knew. That's why I don't ask nothing like that. He's like, shit, I know I'm bottom of the list. He's like, I might be higher than you because I got more money, but that's I'm just like, yo, y'all cannot be serious. They locked it. Like, they got the synergy, but I'm like, yo, that is insane.
Honestly, they came to this motherfucker without you, so.
That is insane. Like my dad was like, yeah, I'm probably bottom of the list. I'm probably like, he's at 10, 11, 12. He's like, but I got some money, so.
They were just following each other's vision, and you just so happened to come up. So.
I thought that was crazy.
Which is crazy as hell. The thing, if you like as far as parenting, and then like the child goes, is that like. You could be tapped in with a motherfucker, but, the child can be, like, the extra necessity. Like, you could already have this shit with or without. Kind of like what you were saying earlier. We were going to get this with or without you. So.
But see, what I don't understand is, like, I'm assuming. Well, let me ask. Were you playing? You weren't playing, right?
What?
Were you playing?
Yeah.
You were playing?
Yeah, I was actually playing. They actually wanted to have, like, Pops actually wanted to have me.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
I know you wasn't.
See, you guys. First of all, you ain't gonna talk like I'm a mistake, baby. Chill out. Like, that's crazy.
Because you ain't got no siblings, so I already know.
Yeah. You know what? That's fair. Never mind. You're right. I was a mistake, baby. Mistake, baby. But what I understand is, like, I always thought that was so weird when people would be like, oh, you wasn't playing. I was like, nigga, if y'all weren't wearing condoms to begin with, wouldn't that
be bad. That's what happened.
Like, wouldn't that be a plan at the point?
Yeah.
Like, if y'all,
about that heavily too.
like, if y'all choosing to ignore condoms, like, can't really say you wasn't playing. But
God gives the craziest blessings sometimes.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, that was a crazy blessing indeed. Something I want to talk about, just to go on a positive note. I mean, that was a beautiful segment. Maybe y'all get something out of it. Hopefully, I don't know. If you have a soul, fuck Carmelo. I want to talk about cheating. Why are you laughing? I didn't want to leave dead air, man, so I just had to think of something to say. But I want to talk about cheating. I guess there was an instance where a player for an organization, like a esports team, I want to say it was like League or something like that. Maybe it was Valorant. I think it could have been Valorant. He basically cheated on his spouse and it became this big ordeal, and then they dropped him from the team, which they dropped him from the team means he can't enter tournaments, means he ain't get no pay, he ain't get no bread, he had to stop working. So my question to you is, for cheating, right? Is cheating, like, I get cheating if it comes to the workplace, and like, say shorty wilding out, she damaging your car, now it's a whole situation, now you gotta leave work to call, woo. Like, I understand that, but I'm saying, is cheating that big of a deal to where you should be dropped from like a sponsor or brand, or you should be fired? Like, what do you think?
No.
Why do you say no?
Because cheating is something that happens as far as like relationships, as far as being a relationship is intimate.
You know,
As far as that's personal and stuff like that. You never want to mix personal with business. So if you're going to take away all my assets and making money and making my bread and giving me my livelihood and giving me a roof over my head over some shit that was, as far as in our own house, as far as like anything crazy, but just cheating. You take away my bread just because of cheating?
Some people would say cheating is crazy. I don't, because I think it's weird, because like, even like the podcast, right? Say we up. Like, it becomes a LLC, it becomes a business, we get a team, we hire a producer, we hire editors, like, we got a whole team. And you say you're in a relationship, or I'm in a relationship for the sake of the example, and one of us cheats on our significant other. I don't think you should have to leave the podcast or anything like that. I know it's a podcast, it's not serious, but I feel like as long as your brand is not relationships and you being a healthy husband or a significant other, that's like...
It'd be different if this podcast was with our significant others.
Yeah?
I feel like,
that would definitely fuck up.
That's definitely fucking up some bags.
Mm-hmm. But that's why I'm like, I don't know, it's a weird dynamic. Like, because honestly, like, you wouldn't even know somebody's a cheater unless, like, social media has turned out certain things to a point to where you wouldn't even know if someone is a cheater, really. The only reason you would know about it is because someone would tweet it, and then it might catch some steam, and then if it catches some steam, niggas got troll.
Words be spread out like wildfire.
And everybody got an opinion on everything nowadays, so they want to, like, ostracize you, too.
Which is crazy, because honestly, if one of us were to cheat right now, we really wouldn't know shit. It was more easier for us to cheat if we were in like high schoolers, or we were still like really young, because we fucked with niggas like that back then.
Mm-hmm.
And the more DSM is so small, word to mouth, everybody's gonna know everybody.
Yeah.
So like, we would definitely know who was running out on us when we was younger.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely knew. I definitely had word coming to me. and then vice versa. But but yeah, man. Like if we were to do that shit right now, we really wouldn't know. I feel like we honestly wouldn't know.
Well, I just feel like we wouldn't know because one, we're not in the mix like that, and then two, I like to mess with a friend group now. Like if you were cheating, but you were cheating with someone, she had to know because it has to be proxy.
Right.
Like most niggas are not going out of their way to like travel across state or take planes or whatever to cheat.
I know.
So
I know one.
Okay, that was insane.
I know a couple in particular, but
that was insane. I don't know shit, and I don't know shit. I'm being serious too, but I just know that was crazy. But like, I don't know. I just don't feel like it's just so weird because I feel like everybody want to pack everybody up now, but like you got to think that if someone cheats in a relationship, there's the cheater and there's the cheatee. Like the woman that or whoever the other participant is has to have an idea, inkling that you're cheating. There's it's 50-50. I don't know if that's like true 50-50 because like obviously I don't have stats or nothing in my head because like how would you get that? But I'm assuming it's 50-50 that like there's a world of people who do not know that this person has a significant other and they were just, obviously talking to the person that they were attracted to. And then there's a world that do know that they have a significant other and they don't care. That's a different dynamic too. I think as long as it doesn't physically affect, obviously the guy being a player, so it could have affected his performance. But as long as like
fucking with somebody's psyche, because self doubt, trust issues, obviously, basically just feeling like a wholehearted shit, and me being the cheater, being the cheatee, and me being everything in between as far as cheating, that shit kind of hurts.
Yeah,
that shit definitely hurts. It made me feel like I was definitely like a piece of shit, like I was just a rubber.
Like I
was a day old soda.
That's crazy. Yeah, flat soda,
Sprite soda.
I could taste it too. That's crazy. But a flat soda, I could taste it. That's crazy. Like, cause at first I ain't gonna lie, I was thinking about this topic because I saw it like last week, and then I was thinking about it per day, and I was like, I was gonna come on the limb. I was gonna be on the limb here and say like, oh, I understand why somebody would cheat, but I didn't want to go that far. And I was like, there's a world where you don't cheat. And then I was gonna say, I understand that why somebody might have an open relationship. But then I was thinking about it, I was like, I don't want to go out that far. And then I think what I came to in conclusion is that I was just talking to people who I generally had to make myself smaller in the sense of I couldn't be myself. Just because it's like with dynamics with women is like, if any inkling from this podcast you could tell by me and Tyler, like I said before, there's ways where we're 10,000% opposites, and then and everything else is literally the exact same nigga. And I feel like me and Tyler are clear proof of people who could go from a serious ass conversation to some goofy ass shit to some regular shit to some goofy shit to some serious ass conversation. And that's how I like to be. And I notice like with some women, like I'll say something in a playful manner, or like I'm a guy, I'll be horny. I'll be one to like sex, especially if I'm talking to a girl I'm like really interested in or whatever, or like just flirt with and then like really be on that type of time. But I know that I can't be. So like I hinder myself of going off of what they want to do or what they want to talk about. And then also oftentimes, like y'all know me, and like I literally just said earlier in the podcast, there's a lot of shit that I don't want to do. I have a lot of great ideas. There's a lot of stuff that I actually want to do, but I hinder myself just because it's like, it's easier to follow your direction than trying to convince you to follow mine. Especially when it's like, you're not even in the same ballpark or vicinity of stuff that I want to do. Or like my one thing, I am very like, I don't even know what the word is, but like if my one thing gets shut down, then it's very rare that I suggest another thing. Because I have a million different ideas, but it's like, if you're not going to fuck with the entry level thing, then it's not even point trying to convince you over here. Right. And so like, that's why, because I was really going to come in here like, oh, maybe I can understand why someone cheats. Because like, there's days where I just generally want to fuck. Like, Has nothing to do with what you got going on. There's nothing to do with like I'm just horny in the moment.
But that's short. That's short term though.
Yeah. I mean, but even then, it'd be like, it just depends on the day, really. Because it doesn't necessarily mean that I don't love this person. It's just so means is like, I just want to act of this.
Right.
And then I was thinking that, like, yeah, well, but that's why I went to open relationships. And then I was like, baby, I was like, nah. And then maybe I was like, I'm not with my person. But even then, like, what I noticed is just people are just people. Like, there'll be I can't just, like, as a woman, it's a different dynamic. She has her own relationship or like own ideology and feelings and stuff like that. Like roles could be flipped. Like there could be a day where she just won't fuck, and then I'm like in my head mentally overthinking everything and this and the third. Like, but I just have to find my person to where I don't feel limited. Cause I be hate, bro. I don't know if you feel this way, but I be hating that, like, where you just want to like have a silly, goofy conversation with a girl you like fucking with or vibing with, and then you say something goofy, and then she just hits you with her day, and she's so serious. I was just like, oh.
She tell you to stop playing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You look like you really, and it's raps for the rest of the night. Cause like after you can only play with a girl so much and like be goofy, and she trying to be serious to where you just a goofy that entire week for the rest of the week or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Cause yeah, I've definitely been there.
Cause like sometimes I'd be scared to crack a joke. Like, I generally be scared. Like, I'm just like, and I think that's why.
But damn, I'm cracking jokes. Hey, I'm doing whatever. You know, to put a smile on your face or at least try to brighten your day up. I don't give a fuck what's going on at work. You know, I'm here for you now. So, you know, you can tell me about your day, and then I'm gonna end it with like a joke. So
I don't know.
That's how I'm always is.
But maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe I just haven't found the person that I could just feel like that way with. And I'm not saying, like, when I say this stuff too, please know, like, if you are a woman that I have dealt with in the past, or if you are someone who's a potential in the future, you know, call me. Or if you're just someone that's listening to this podcast thinking you can know me off the strength of what I say, I know when to be fucking serious. It's not like I'm like it's a serious ass conversation. I'm still trying to find the punchline to where I can make a joke. No, I'm not being that, but I'm just saying it's like I've always looked at like
Those conversations I've had has been with women.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I've always looked at like relationships and certain dynamics as in like my escape from the world. Like, I would love to have a serious conspiracy conversation with a lady, but I also want to have some goofy shit. I also want to flirt, especially if this is my baby. Like, yeah, I want all of it.
Well, if I know you don't give a fuck about, you know, that as far as like, you know, like conspiracies and stuff like that, or like
or just anything,
I'm not even going to entertain it because I know that's not how you rock.
But then that'd be the thing, though, is like sometimes, because like I feel like
you all trying to find the one that rocks.
I just want you to be able to have the conversation. Because I think to this day, I don't even know, like, just recent women that I've dealt with. I'm like dead ass trying to think. I don't even know if I really talked to them about the podcast. Like, I think half of them might know I have a podcast, or like gaming in general, like what I actually do with gaming. Like, it's just certain shit. Like, it's like different dynamics of that. It's just like, maybe I'm not talking about myself enough, but I don't want to sound conceited. But it's like, I'm also the type of person, like,
yeah, because I don't even when like if if I'm on Tinder or like type of social like dating sites where I'm like just like talking to female in general, like I want to actually get to know her. Like I don't want to just talk about the podcast or what I'm doing or what like what I do for my fucking favorite color is. I'm really just trying to get to, like I'm a people pleaser. Like
I just want it to be where like you ask because you really want to know or you really want to talk about it. Don't ask me nothing you don't want to talk about.
Give a fuck about my favorite color.
That's what's up.
This is crazy because like I don't know, navy always been my favorite. I love navy blue. I'm a dark colored guy, so I gotta have like like blues. I can't do royal blue. That's too bright for me. It's gotta be like a dark blue, like a navy or indigo.
Yeah.
Um, university blue, Detroit blue, Yankee blue, Tiger blue. All that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually think they actually think that it's kind of cool that my favorite color is actually a shade instead of an actual color.
That's dope. Um, well, let's get into some of these topics because, like I said, I'm not saying like I'm trying to get packed up this episode, but there's a lot of things that I'm just kind of like about. So did you saw Rihanna's Vogue magazine cover with her baby, and then obviously ASAP Rocky, and ASAP Rocky was in the background.
Happiest dad ever.
Uh-huh. And kudos to him. I mean, everybody was like, well, you see Rihanna run a relationship. Yeah, she runs shit. I was like, okay, whatever. That's not even what I'm here to talk about. That's a different conversation for a different day.
Might be right.
That's a different conversation for a different day. In the article, Rihanna called her baby fine. Because I think she has a boy, right?
Yeah.
But she called her baby fine, and there was people that had gripes and different opinions about it, in which I'm like 50-50 on. Just because it's like, we're not used to the term fine being used to describe a
aspect to describe
a baby, yeah. But also at the same time, it's Rihanna's kid, and if she feels like her baby's fine, or if she uses fine how she uses handsome, like I've heard. Well, obviously, I don't think so either. But like I've heard babies being called handsome or cute. But the way my brain thought about it, and because at first I saw, I was like, oh, she called him fine. All right, that's different. I was like, yo, that's different. But then I just kept it pushing. But then it was like one of those things on social media where you constantly see it. So now you really have to like sit there and think about it. And I'm like, yeah, that's definitely different. But I don't really see an issue. The moment I saw an issue is if I had a son and saying my son was cute, adorable, handsome, all that. And I don't like how you size me up like that. Like, my baby ain't gonna be cute, handsome, or adorable. Chill out. But
I gotta see what your woman looks like.
see, that's so crazy, bro. That's crazy. But when I thought about it, like if I was, say, in the park walking with my baby, whatever, and like, you know, random man or woman came up to my baby, oh, your baby's so cute. Thank you. Oh, your baby's so handsome. Thank you. Your baby's fine. I paused. I real life paused thinking about it in my head. I was just like, oh. So that's where, if people want to say that's kind of weird, I'm kind of with you on that. But that's also because we just don't use that word to describe babies. Like when I think fine, I think like a old, not even an older, mature. Like I think of like a woman our age. Or I think of like an older lady saying that's a fine young man. Like it's usually described like older people rather than young people. Or
now, older people use fine as like a term of endearment more than anything. That's a fine young man right there. That's a damn good man right there.
Oh, I say fine. Like if I'm talking to one of the homies, I'm like, damn, she fine as hell. Like I say it like that.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about it?
I have no other. I mean, now that you told me that, I really don't have no opinions about it. I mean, that's her kid, and if she wants to call her child fine in a light in which she's portraying it as, then so be it.
And not to mention, it was, I think if I'm not mistaken, it was from the Vogue article, and it says so fine. So for all we know,
that could have been out of context.
Well, no. Well, I mean, I think it could have been in context. But for all we know is how she said it. She could have been like, my baby's so fine. Like, she could have said it playfully. Like, she did. Like, there's a world where you say, you're fine. And then there's a world where you, like, you're so fine. Like, yeah, I'm saying, like, playing around and all that stuff. And also, it's like, like,
I ain't gonna put much effort into like detail into like thinking about it. Honestly,
it's just not a word I would use, but it's not like out of the ordinary.
not in this day and age, no.
Because I don't, outside of like, I've never really heard "fine" to be used to describe a baby. But the way I see it though is like, I know I can't use that word. Like if I see a random baby, and I go up to a random family, I said that's a cute baby. I feel like I could get cute off. I feel like I could get adorable off. But if I say fine, they're taking me to jail. They're throwing my black ass underneath the jail.
Don't let it be a white family either.
But yeah, they definitely twice. They're gonna throw me over. So, but see, and I felt like you feel.
They might as well put you in the oven.
Ooh, that was crazy. But I feel like you would feel the same way, no?
About what?
Like your chances with the words of describing a baby. Probably cute, adorable.
I don't look at babies like that. Babies sometimes be ugly as hell.
Or I thought you were going with it.
So like me, babies be irritating as hell to me. Sometimes, so like I don't look at them in that kind of light anyway. So until they actually get to moving around, like my nephew, like my mom always used to be like, oh he kind of has like your big brown eyes. I was like, that's an ugly ass baby. Shut the fuck up. Like, I ain't trying to hear none. I ain't trying to see no pictures of. I was not trying to see no pictures of that nigga until he was like grown enough to where like I could actually see like facial features of Carl, me, and then I'd be like, oh yeah, he me. That's all me right there. That's handsome right there.
And nigga said his nephew is ugly.
I'm cool on Tyler's. I'd be like, oh yeah, it's a nice little baby. But other than that, I'm not really tripping all that. I've seen your baby pictures. I ain't gonna go into it.
The fuck you mean?
What?
The fuck you mean?
What you mean? What I mean? You wasn't looking too good either, bro.
That's insane. That's hate.
I'm gonna say this.
That's hate.
I'm gonna say this though. Check this out though. You look better then than what you do now.
Did you just call me ugly twice?
I don't know. You take it how you want, bro.
Niggas just called me ugly twice.
You take it how you want, bro.
Nigga said my baby pressure wasn't shit, but I look better then than I do now.
I don't know, bro, because like when I saw your baby picture, I don't know, bro, because when I saw your baby picture, that shit was like all old and crumbled up and shit. So maybe it was just like,
yeah, like your baby pictures was old and crumbled up. Nigga, we came from we're the same year, bro.
Mine's ain't. Mine's all staying in a photo book, bro. They're good.
So are mine.
I don't know, but the way you're like, hold on, let me go to your Instagram
because they're on Instagram. I took a picture of a picture.
That shit was not it.
I'm about to hit this nigga over the head with the fucking mic. Yo, what's up with you, my nigga? You ain't got to do that. What you on right now? This nigga crazy.
How you spell your whack ass name, nigga?
Yo, that's hate. Why are you hating? This nigga struggling with my Instagram. I hope you don't find it, nigga. Petty ass nigga. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I just put a B in there and see what the fuck come up.
And then, yeah, like, don't show fucking YouTube, my baby.
I'm gonna show you ugly ass, bro.
Yo, you gotta, nigga, shut the, bro. What's up with you? What's up with Cuz right now? He's really going through my Instagram and it's just shaking his head. What you shaking your head for, my nigga? Yeah, I was. I don't fuck with you.
Oh man, I just did that.
I don't fuck with you.
I'm not.
I should have said earlier in the podcast. I take it back. Fuck it.
I'm mad as hell. I just had to do that.
I nigga bogus as hell.
Oh no.
Shut up, bro. Stop, bro. Stop. We got a podcast to do. You gotta be entertaining. Turn that.
I should have never. Hey yo, y'all want to see where?
Bro, I
see, like that shit look.
Yo, you, nigga. What's up with you, bro? What's up with you right now?
I don't know. Maybe the frame was fucked up, bro. I don't know.
You really just showed. I'm not clipping this shit.
Bro, that shit was too big, bro.
I don't bait, nigga.
Anyway, we go on to the podcast, man. Rate this shit 5 stars on the Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you stream this wonderful podcast. Laugh at us, bro, because we give you the funny every single time, whether it be from Prince Hurd over here or whether it be from Tyler Libra. We give it to you double the funny, double your fun, man. So, rate this shit and subscribe, please. Please and thank you. Now let's get back to it. Yeah, I know I was an ugly ass baby too. I was fat as hell, light skinned as hell. I looked like a boo, bro.
You had cheeks.
I had cheeks, bro. I was, yeah.
But yeah, I'm just going to Lil Duval's tweets.
I was not a fine ass baby.
I'm gonna go into Lil Duval's tweets because the other segue I had,
that shit was weird as hell. I
ain't gonna lie.
That nigga was talking about,
having Justin Bieber R-word his daughter and him. Then I think he said something along the lines just like when his daughter gets a period, he's gonna have to be the first one to see her or something. I ain't gonna lie. To me, Lil Duval was always that weird nigga in that category, right?
He really was. I really didn't fuck with that nigga.
See, I'm not gonna say that because I always thought musically he was very talented, and there's some songs I do fuck with.
As far as a comedian, I just didn't think that nigga was kind of funny.
He was funny for Guy Code. I think he was funny, especially him and Charlamagne. They had a great dynamic.
They did have a great dynamic.
But I say all that to say that, to me, certain wild niggas, I'm not saying I'm giving them a pass. I'm not surprised when they do wild things. And not to mention, that was 2012 that those tweets were from. I don't think Lil Duval...
them bitches up.
Well, they do and they don't. Basically, how anyone finds someone's, fun fact for Twitter users out there, basically how anyone finds your old tweets of you saying the N-word or anything like that is they just put the ad that you have and then they search the word. So I don't know what words Buddy was searching, but he was clearly searching something to pack up Lil Duval. Like when I first saw
the R word, it was either daughter or something.
Like when I first saw it, I thought Lil Duval had something coming out, or he said some kind of controversial opinion. Like I thought there was niggas searching this for a reason. But I didn't see anything like that, so I was really confused. But yeah, the tweets were from 2012, and what's crazy too is like if they were from 2012, that was probably around Geico time. So it's like, nigga, how did you not get packed up back then because of those tweets? Because you was kind of on right when Geico came out.
Right.
But they were weird tweets, but I don't know. Like,
I'm not surprised by it.
I don't know. Those tweets were kind of nuts.
They were nuts as hell for that nigga. And they were very distasteful. But at the same time, he was always a weirdo little nigga to me. So, he kind of chalked it up to his legacy.
But that's why I chalked it up to him just being a wild nigga. Like, I just think, I think wild niggas' brains is different. Like, I'm not gonna put that on your body, but you were definitely a wild nigga. There's not a lot you could do to where I wouldn't be surprised anymore.
Right.
But, and so like once I feel like people put people in certain categories is not as surprising. But like, even though like I thought that was weird tweets, but kind of in the segue, I'll use this for more so the segue we go into rather than this. Like, I don't think of Lil Duval any different, if that
I don't
helps or not. Like, I don't think I should pack this nigga up and never speak about Lil Duval again, but I don't think I'm checking for Lil Duval's music. Like, I follow him on Instagram, but that's about it. Like, that's not like I'm
checking for his music prior.
Yeah, he got some slaps.
Lil Duval.
He got some slaps, bro. He got a song with Ty Dolla $ign that's really good. He got a song with Snoop Dogg. Like, he got some actual credible like people, and he makes like like an old R&B type of sound. So he's not really rapping. It's just, yeah, you got some slaps.
Is it a car ride home, or is a function type of song?
You got both.
You got it.
No, he do. Cause he definitely got one. Shout out to Sippy. We definitely played one. I played a few at work, and we had the whole work jumping, and everybody was kind of like
Jumping for what?
they were fucking with the music.
Got it.
And so that was kind of a function in a way. I hate the new change they did to Hinge. Like,
You don't like it?
nah, cause you gotta spend the bread.
Oh yeah. I saw that shit. That shit's that's over with. That's OD.
But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't look at Duval any less or more. But so the segue I was gonna go into now, I guess, for the sake of the conversation, is Chris Brown. Chris Brown has some strong opinions. Obviously, when he lost the Grammy, he was like, "Who the fuck is this nigga?" Turns out this nigga is just super talented and super good, and yeah, good for him. Head crazy as hell now, but also you gotta be there and saying it. So Chris Brown has some choice words because they only do this because he teased the picture of him and was that Cole Bailey?
Cleo Bailey.
Cleo Bailey? But is that the right one?
Her name is Cleo.
Well, I'm saying she has a sister.
Yeah, I don't know her. Haley.
I think is Haley the one doing Disney Little Mermaid?
No, it's Chloe.
Okay, so then Haley's the one making music.
Yeah.
So then yeah, Haley and Chris Brown teased the picture of them having music coming out, and they pretty much was trying to like not fuck with Haley because she has a song coming out with Chris Brown. So then that's when Chris Brown kind of snapped, saying, "Yo, I basically made a mistake when I was 17 years old, and y'all still we did. Y'all still ostracize me and still try to get me canceled, still try to pack me up or not fuck with anyone I work with. But y'all glorify this Blueface and Chris Sean relationship every single fucking day, and y'all watch it.
Which they do.
But you do too. But so my question to you is: Is something that he did truly forgivable to where you could forget it? And then two, what do you think about his argument point?
I think you got to look at the person moving forward and what they'll be able to do to reconcile the pain or the trauma that he gave. And if they're true to that, if they're true to actually like moving forward and making a change for themselves to where they're never going to do that again, or they don't want to put that person in that and giving that person that type of trauma again, then I think it is. I wouldn't say on it all. It all really depends on how.
Because Rihanna forgave him. At least in an interview. I don't know if she really did that. I don't know what kind of terms they are on.
They don't have to be on speaking terms. They just have to.
Well, I mean, as far as like
each other's
like
that on that subject.
Mm-hmm.
But forgivable. If you're, like I said, if you're making all those moves to go in the right direction, then yes. Also, yes.
Can you honestly say that Chris Brown has, though? Because if we being honest, like...
Do we actually know, though?
I don't think he has.
I don't think we know.
I don't think he has because he's shown violent nature. Like, he's shown... Like, nigga, there was a time when he was fucking with Carucci. This nigga told Carucci,
Carucci.
Carucci.
Kakarot. But anyway.
This nigga, okay, now you fucking be up. Carucci, he told her he was going to the store and it was on courtside seats Lakers game with Rihanna. Christmas Day. It's like, nigga, that had to be the worst fucking lie. You know she could see you, right, my nigga? Like, you're courtside with Rihanna. Like, they panned in right on you, nigga. Like, he did that. I think Crucci also had a restraining order, and like she said that they had a kind of a abusive relationship. I don't know if it was physical or not, so I'm not gonna say put that on his body or anything like that. This nigga also beefed with Frank Ocean. Frank Ocean has been a nigga that just really be in the cut, riding bikes in New York, minding his business. Same birthday, shout out to Frank. But like, it's like Chris Brown hasn't really helped himself either. And then even just like last week about the Grammys, he spazzed the fuck out. And then posted the apology, and the apology kind of seemed shallow. Like, hey, brother, you know how they treat us blacks against each other. You should have been in the category, but we need to stick together.
It's Black History Month.
And during Black History Month. So it's like, Chris Brown, I'm not saying that Rihanna didn't play a part in the relationship.
I heard he's a colorist too, like he don't fuck with black girls.
That was untrue, because there was like 2 black girls to his right. I just feel like that's the agenda they're pushing now, which is kind of crazy. But I feel like
That's just something to.
I feel like Chris Brown doesn't help his case. It's kind of like the Tory thing. When Tory had that whole allegation, well, no, he did the shit. When he had that whole thing with Meg Thee Stallion, he was still moving aggressive. Like, he was still trying to beef with niggas. He was still trying to big and bad. And it's like, bro, like,
if time off for yourself, work on yourself, bro. Get the fuck out of the light.
Well, not even that. If you really want people to accept that you changed and that you didn't make that mistake, don't be out here moving like you didn't make a fucking mistake.
Right.
Move correctly. Move like you don't want no problems. Chris Brown moved like he still wish a nigga would. But I don't know if that's just a VA thing, because, Trey Songz out here wilding too. But like, it's just like, you want forgiveness and you want people to let shit go. But it's like every time we see Chris Brown for when it's not music, it's always some controversy. It's rarely ever anything good. I do applaud him, and I'm glad that he kept the receipts for Shorty, who he kind of like had a relationship with, and then left her alone, and then she tried to say that like he raped her or some shit. Like, she really put that on his body. So I do feel bad for him, because I feel like he gets put in a lot of situations to where he's constantly having to defend himself. Even now, it's like to me, I feel like, but that's also, if it depends on how you live in. If you live in hell, you're not gonna not feel hot. Like, to me, I feel like SA and like assault are one of those things to where I don't know if I could personally forgive someone. Like, because when I was talking to some homegirls, and they were like, yeah, people need to forgive him, that's 7th, 3rd. But I was like, also, I kind of put it in the situation of like, what if like prime instance, because we both went to the same high school, all 4 years, all that. What if Chris Brown, or like a nigga like Chris Brown that was in that exact same situation, did something his freshman year, and like we went to high school with that nigga, and then now it's to the current day. And then when I put that situation out there, I don't know if I could rock with Duke. I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with Duke, but I don't know if I could rock with him. All right. Like, I don't know if I'd be buddy. It obviously different dynamics or changes if it was like a best friend, if it was a brother, like obviously that shit. But like, as far as like someone I know, I'm not saying I fuck with dude, not saying I wish he burned in hell and hope he gets canceled, but it would just be surface value or face value, and I just would keep it pushing. And I feel like that's how I feel with Chris now, because I still listen to Chris Brown music. Like, I still listen to his albums, but I don't know if I'd buy a ticket. I don't know if I'd want to meet this nigga, dap this nigga up. I mean, I might interview him, I guess, but that'd be more so off the strength of work rather than me actually,
pleasure.
Yeah, fucking with him. But that's how I feel about certain celebrities, and I feel like a lot of people put so much weight behind these celebrities that it's kind of like, I can see a world where Chris Brown's like, y'all niggas don't know me, y'all don't even know what the situation was. Y'all just saw the picture. And Rihanna admitted to having played a role in that. Obviously, whatever role she fucking played, I'm saying this as Be Heard, as a representation of Be Heard in my thoughts and opinions. Whatever role she played didn't deserve the fucking face that she had. But it's just hard for me. Like, a part of me does feel bad, because I think, to the second question that I asked, I think, Blueface, I think Chris Brown is 110% right. Because, like, y'all cannot criticize me when y'all literally you're seeing a crazy
abuse before our very eyes,
like y'all
in the streets,
y'all seen a
in
relationship,
public.
y'all seen a relationship worse than like Ike. Well, I don't know about Ike and
Ike and
Tina.
Turner, because
Yeah,
that's a different time frame. I wasn't allowed to see.
but like a self-destructing relationship. That's why
Ike
I
and
was,
Tina.
so like maybe like Whitney and Bobby. I don't know, like a self-destructing relationship. And y'all are glorifying this and like y'all say relationship goals and y'all always care about what they say. Like I don't even follow Blueface or Shorty.
I don't.
But they're always on my timeline. Like they're impossible to get off my timeline.
Somebody's retweeting this. Somebody's liking this. There's always going to be a person that's going to be indulging in that type of behavior, and it don't even have shit to do with them. It don't even have anything to do with our Krishan Rock and Blueface don't have anything to do with our personal life whatsoever, everyday life whatsoever, bro.
They sure don't.
We are so enamored in what they are and who they are. It's crazy.
So like I just say I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. Like I don't put that much weight or merit on Chris Brown until I see it in the news. But at the same time, it's like, can he really be forgiven? Me personally, I just feel like to go all the way back and to actually answer this question is like it depends on the actions he does. I don't think he really moves as if he wants to be forgiven. He kind of still moves like a wild nigga. He's not wilding out like he did, but I mean, hell, like Carucci was definitely like worried for her life, and they had a weird dynamic too. And I just feel like I hope he gets help. I hope he does change. And I mean, he said he's 33, he has a daughter now, so maybe, you know what I'm saying, he's finding peace. And he could be working towards that. But me personally, like, stuff will bother me when I see comments about the podcast or like a YouTube video, and that'll bother me for a little bit. I couldn't imagine being Chris Brown, because I'm sure he probably has people in his life that's like tell him to KYS and all this other shit and like praying on his downfall and probably saying the most malicious shit they could because everybody loves Rihanna, rightfully so. But it's just like, yo, at some point in time, like, my nigga, like,
this nigga gotta live his life.
Like, yeah. So it's such a weird dynamic. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know, I just hope he finds peace one day, man. I hope that he lives the life that he wants to envision for himself. Because right now, all this shit, bro, it ain't it.
Yeah. Because I know, like, if I did something that I extremely regret and was sorry for,
I'd be out the way.
Yeah, especially every time you come back, niggas hate you. I just think it's nasty just because it's also the women. I get why it's the women that people do it to, because it's like, obviously he put his hands on a woman. But like, you don't see that for Drake, really. You don't see that for like male artists, and everybody's all like, they love the song. Like, nigga, No Guidance went crazy. Fucking, like, hella Chris Brown songs went crazy, and niggas still play this shit. Niggas play that shit. So it's like, do you really not fuck with this person? Or like, what is the dynamic? Like, why is it like you fuck with Rihanna more? And it's like, if she forgave him.
If this is a celebrity thing, then just say that, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's such a weird dynamic. Oh, I just say, stop glorifying the bad shit, and then if the nigga's trying to get his life together. But then, like, that's what I said. I think it just
look at them as the man, the father, and the person.
I think that's the Chris Brown problem. Is like, just 3 weeks ago, he was just arguing with a black man who literally did nothing but make a great album and won a Grammy for it. Like, Chris Brown, like, you can't say you want this, but then show that. Like, not niggas ain't saying you can't be emotional, but you just move like a nigga that didn't learn the lesson. Right. So I feel like people are trying to teach the lesson. And the song might slap. I just don't feel like Shorty should get canceled because she's working with an artist. Like, artistically, Chris Brown is one of them, but I don't know. But I'll say at the same time, like, if one of my homegirls is like, yo, I don't fuck with Chris Brown because of what he did, and I'll never fuck with him, I'm not gonna argue her that. That's her right. Right. Last thing on the show notes, and I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't be opposed to ending a podcast way before 2 hours like we usually do. But the NBA All-Star weekend was this past weekend in
I ain't gonna lie, I was asleep for most of it.
in Salt Lake, Utah. I forgot dude's name that won the dunk contest, but he was killing shit. He was killing shit. And then the dunk contest was okay. 3-point contest was okay. I mainly want to talk about the All-Star game. Are All-Star games being ruined by sports? Because obviously we saw what happened with the NFL and the Pro Bowl. But the NFL is a weird dynamic just because it's like if you really want people to go hard and try, 9 times out of 10 people are going to get hurt. And the whole point of the All-Star game is to see the best in the world, but not to get hurt. So then that's why they kind of switched it to a flag football game because they weren't really tackling. So like the last...
Motherfuckers aren't going to be happy anyway. If you're a sports fan of both NBA or NFL, you're not going to be happy either way because niggas is crossing over like, why don't they just do what the All-Star did? Okay, they're trying to do what the All-Star did. They're having these games. They're having these little outings and stuff like that. Oh, that's just whack as hell. Why don't they just do what the Pro Bowl did? What do you want? Like, what do people want to see in a All-Star weekend or a Pro Bowl weekend?
Well,
what is it that an athlete can do?
Well, they used to be competitive. Like Kobe Bryant, like I seen 2 TikToks, and Kobe, I ain't gonna lie, like I fuck with Kobe. Like the older I get, I'm like, damn, like he really had like that dog in him. Like his chest would just show nothing but dogs. But that nigga was crazy too, because he said like he was like a young guy, and I want to say this is like early 2000s, but it's not as past Froby. Like he's established. He's obviously Kobe Bryant. I guess he had like 18 points in the All-Star game, but he sat out the whole, like I think he sat out some of the third and then all the fourth. And George Karl was the coach. And George Karl, if you didn't know, he coached the Nuggets, I think, around the early 2000s or whatever. So then Kobe was like, it was my mission to bust his ass in this playoff series. Like, that's so, like, it's something you wouldn't think about. It's like, yo, you sat the whole fourth quarter of All-Star game, but Kobe was so pissed that he sat the whole fourth quarter that every time he played the Nuggets in the playoffs, he went berserk on them, like, because of that reason. Because I'm gonna bust you. I'm like, yo, Kobe is different. And I think, in that same interview, Kobe was saying, like, yeah, the All-Star game isn't competitive as it once was. Like, it mattered. He's like, it's pretty much the best players in the world playing against each other. But kind of to the point of, like, where people are like, should they play 82 games and load management and stuff like that? Like, the NBA is such a different game than it was when even Kobe was playing. The NBA is, like, some of the best athletes in the world, and, like, you constantly have to move to get open, and then even when you move to get open, like, you have to create a shot because...
It kind of brings up the question, should the All-Star game get pushed back before finals?
No. I think you run into the NFL problem. Their season is long as hell. The season is long as hell, so I don't think... It's hard to convince me to try hard when basically my season's over.
Well, you got to think about it. Give or take, NBA mid-June.
Yeah, but what you're not taking into consideration is if it's All-Stars, it's All-Star voting. So All-Stars and All-Star voting is going to lead to the most popular players. There's not a lot of scrubs or a lot of, like, B-star tier players that are not in the playoffs. Especially with the NBA, there's 30 teams, 16 of them get in the playoffs. Not going to have no scrubs off the fucking, no offense, Houston Rockets in the All-Star game. So it's like a lot of the players that was in the playoffs playing maybe 100-plus games if you went far, now you're asking them to play in an All-Star game. And, like, kind of to Kobe's point of, like, saying it's not competitive no more, and, like, it used to matter because it was the best players in the world and it was playing to pick up basketball. Like, in hindsight, being 2020, you would want to see it. But now, the way that social media is and the way that life is now, you're more than likely going to see the best players in the world at like LA Fitness. And they're going hard there. So I don't know. It's such a weird dynamic because it's like
Thought it was it's at the Y.
yeah, that's how they be treating it. But it's the off season, so it makes sense. You're getting better iron sharpens iron, and you haven't had a hard, intense practice since probably the season. But like as a like Denver Broncos fan and a Boston Celtics fan in basketball, like I don't want my niggas to go too hard to where they get fucked up in an All-Star game. I could give a fuck less. But that's the play. That's the fan in me because it's like I want Jason Tatum and I want Jaylen Brown and all my teammates to be, or team players of my team to be 100% healthy. And it's because like you're not gonna get the Kobe aspect of it. I just don't think you are, and I don't think you will when there's no real representation. Like it used to be East versus West, so it used to be a pride thing, and it used to. I think in baseball there's an incentive of to where it's like American and national, and I think whoever wins gets home field advantage in the World Series.
Yeah.
Which say the NBA could do that. All right, whoever wins East versus West, you'll get home field advantage during the finals. I think that's something that you could easily implement and something you could easily see niggas trying.
Right.
Because, like, if I'm out the East and I know I have a clear path to the finals, well, East, I think is, well, I don't know now.
But does NHL have an All-Star game?
Yeah. Yeah. They have an All-Star weekend, too. And all that stuff. But
dates.
I don't know, but I know it's a weekend, too.
I don't know all that.
But, like, I say all that to say that, like, even, like, probably hockey, I don't know what people want. Like, if you said the All-Star game was mid, sure. But, nigga, I don't know. I get, like, if you want to see people play defense, I get it. Like, if you're one of them, I understand. But at the same time, it's like, it's an All-Star game. Like, I don't know. I don't need LeBron to go try hard mode in the middle of the seasons when it's supposed to be a vacation.
Y'all would go buckshot crazy if LeBron dropped like 40, 50 points in an All-Star game.
Mm-hmm.
Which he has, by the way.
And Jason Tatum got the MVP for 55. But, like, I mean, I don't know. Like, that's where I'm at with sports right now. It's like
the MVP race, so, like, he really...
Yeah, but he's been struggling the past few weeks before the break. But, I mean, maybe the break was a good thing to get his confidence back and have him playing again. I don't know. I just feel like people are bored at this point because it's like we're talking about All-Star games. Like, I've always watched the All-Star games and enjoyed watching them, but I feel like now niggas is just mad at every All-Star game. But also, I guess with the NBA at least, there was a lot of stars missing. Like Devin Booker was out, Kevin Durant was out, Curry was out, Giannis left early, LeBron left early.
That man got a layup and then tagged out.
And I don't think Harden was there.
Harden wasn't there.
There's a lot of people who could be potential all-stars to make it fun and make it this, that, and the third that just didn't play or wasn't there. So, I mean, it just depends on the All-Star game. I mean, shit, I don't know who's going to be the Kobe again, but maybe if we get another player like Kobe, I doubt it because that was a generational talent, but who knows? Maybe they'll change the different dynamics. So then, especially when it's like you're asking these guys to play 82 games, most of the guys are like most of these elite level, basically anyone that's an all-star, it's probably the star of the team or the second best option on the team, so they're playing at least 30 to 35 minutes a game against the best in the world. They got to run, go back and forth. They're still back-to-back nights and stuff like that. It's like you're asking a lot of these players. And everybody said, oh, but the players back in the day. The players in the back of the day didn't have to worry about no fucking Curry, no fucking Giannis, no Jokic, no Embiid, like, no LeBron. Nigga, shut up. No Kevin Durant.
I was scared of Jordan.
And that's it.
That's it.
Like, man.
Larry, maybe.
Yeah, man, I don't know.
There. I don't know. Yeah, I'm glad everybody have fun, because that's what All-Star weekend is about. Everybody have fun, got their louds off, got their Shaq video camera recorders out.
You see, when he grabbed Drewski's, he kept rubbing Drewski's head. It's like, I ain't bald, nigga. Hey.
The first thing that came to mind was that nigga that was when Nas was on stage rapping, and nigga just swiped his hand across his face while he was rapping.
That was Nas.
That was Nas.
That's crazy.
That's wild that he let that.
Yeah, I was. I didn't even. What? He was still rocking. I was trying to think of that nigga was like, oh, that ball fade, nice. That's funny.
Fine as a. I'm done.
That's funny. Is there anything else you want to talk about, or you want to wrap it up?
Oh man, I just said my one-liner to wrap it up, man. I appreciate you guys for having us on your listening ear for every single Tuesday or Wednesday when you hear it. Yeah, man, just stay safe, as far as, we're almost seeing daylight here. Spring is just right around the corner. Summer is just right up the street from that. And, that's when the bullshit happens. So you just gotta be safe as much as you possibly can. And I want to say that I have gotten opening tickets to opening day tickets to see my Detroit Tigers go on against Brent's raggedy ass, dirty ass Boston Red Sox. So yeah, that'll be super. It'll be my first ever opening day at any fucking thing. I don't know who I'm bringing yet. I actually do have somebody I'm bringing, but I want to keep this here. So yeah,
respectable. Be sure to follow the podcast.
Go Tigers.
Everywhere, basically, a TylerBrianHour podcast. On YouTube, TikTok, Instagram.
Blast us everywhere, please.
Yeah, man. Put it on your stories.
Stories.
Post it.
You ain't gotta listen to the radio. You can listen to the podcast.
Word.
I mean, we don't have it like they got it, but I mean,
we can get it like there if you support it.
We're kind of funny individuals. I would like for you to think so.
But be sure to subscribe to the podcast for as little as $1, $4, $9, whatever you can afford on anchor.fm/TylerBrianHour. And man, shout out to good brother Lopez, always holding it down with the $9.99. Appreciate you, bro. Love you. Yeah, kind of a relaxed episode. I don't know, Tyler yawned 6-7 times in the beginning, and that shit made me sleepy, and now I'm sleepy now. But yeah, I think that's all. Man, love y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this episode, and we out. Bye.